Hi guys, this is the Betamax Man. So, I thought tonight I would start working on the HF750. And if you've seen the previous video, it was playing, but it wasn't playing very well. But then I lost picture. So we got it hooked up, and it's going into the front of the 1000. It's all hooked up. It's on the output. Now when we go and play a video, as you can see here, we'll get we'll get audio but no video. By the way, I shined it all up with Novus. As you can see, it's really glossy and in mint condition, except for a couple of deep scratches that I couldn't get out. But so we've got a tape here, and we'll put it in. And I'll show you what it does. So we'll make sure it's in, hit the play. This is rewound all the way, but we're not getting any video, so let me fast forward it a couple minutes so that we get the audio. But I'm not getting any video. I got sound, but no video. So, wanting to know what's going on with it. So, let's go ahead and take a look at it. And let's open the inside up, and I want to take a look at the video board. I want to do some voltage tests. There's a few things that I want to check. So what we'll do is get the thing opened up so that we can start working on this thing and see if we can get this thing to work again. Now, one of the things that I'm thinking of is that it could be the video board. It could be the preamp. Because we did, for a short amount of time, we did have video. But when we did have video, it wasn't very good. In fact, the picture quality was quite poor. Okay, so I'm thinking that I want to start in the video board first. So I'm going to check the voltages. I want to check the capacitors. I'm also going to check the preamp. So anyway, let's get this thing powered up and I mean opened up, and see if we can find out what's going on. So we'll open it up, we'll unplug it, and I'll do some voltage tests. And I want to do some checking on some of the components. So let's get started. Okay, I've got it, took it apart, done some voltage tests, and I've got voltage going to the video board. I've got voltage going to the head amplifier. So here is the head amp, and what I'm going to do is I'm thinking that the reason why we don't have a picture is because there's something wrong in the head amp. And what I'm really thinking is that one of the issues is the capacitors have went bad, which is a common problem. I'm thinking the ones I want to test are going to be these yellow capacitors, because these are Elna caps, and almost every time I check an Elna capacitor, usually they're always bad, or going bad, or have leaked. These, I don't know if they've leaked or not, but they don't appear to be leaking. So, but these are 16 volt at 22 microfarad, and there should be some 47 microfarad caps as well. But there's this one looks like it's a 25 volts at 4.7, and I don't have any of the 4.7 25 volt. I have 4.7 at 50 volts, but 50 volts is going to be too high. So if these are bad, then I'm going to have to order some of those in. And I do seem to come across a lot of the 25 volt at 4.7. So I think I'm going to order some and try to keep myself in stock with those voltages. What I have done in the past is replace them with a 25 at 10, which will be a little high on the microfarad, but it's better to put the right voltage and go a little bit up on the microfarad, I think, than it is to go way high on the voltage. You don't want to go that high on a voltage. You don't want to go from 25 to 50. You can go, say, 25 to, say, 35 volt. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're going 50, that's doubling the voltage, and that's not a good idea. So let's just check the Elna caps. I'm going to check the ones that I suspect are bad, and we'll replace those, and then we'll see what we can do. Okay, there's a 50 volt at 0.47 microfarad. Looks like a 0.47. Probably a 0.47. So let's check some of these capacitors, and we'll see if I'm gonna put my camera down, and I'll try to get you the best view that I can give you for right now. So I need to go. It is a C015 and C024 are the capacitors that I need to check. So let's check those and see if those have went open, or they're going to be open in the future, or going bad, I should say. Okay, just what I thought. That Elna capacitor is completely open. I was checking some of the capacitors on the video board and they were fine. So, and I was thinking that, you know, the head amp is what sends the signal to the TV, so that's what's going to be bad on it. So yeah, we've got no voltage. That capacitor has went completely open. Yep, that one's gone. So let's check. So we've checked that one. Let's check this one over in this area. So C204. Oh, sorry, C024 is the one that we need to check here. So check this one. So there we go. Alright. Okay, that one is starting to go bad. That one is telling me to replace it. So my meter says to replace. So the voltage is low on that electrolytic. Now I suspect that possibly this one over here might be bad as well. So we're just gonna test that one. This is a, see, what is this, a 47 microfarad? They're probably a 47 at 10. That is a, okay, it's a 47 at 16. So we're gonna check that and see if that one is okay. Okay, that one is bad. So we're gonna check. That one is completely bad. This one right here. So I can show you. This one right in here. That one right there is bad. So I think that the 25, well, here's another 47. Here's another, that's actually, I think, a 10. Or is that a 16? That's probably a 16. Yeah, that's a 16 as well. So let's check that one. We'll just see if we've got... Okay. Alright, that one is okay, but it's questionable, so I'm going to change it. I'm just going to change these these 4 caps. So I found 4 of them so far that I want to change. I do want to test some of the 4.7, the 50 at the 4.7. Yeah, it's a, oh, that's a 50. Okay, they are 50s. Well, some of them are. Yep, that is a 50 volts electrolytic. I'm just gonna check them. So that one is going bad. That one is completely open. that one is bad. That one is okay. So a lot of these electrolytics have failed. So that means that I believe that this is our issue. Our picture quality was really bad in the beginning, and then I let it warm up a little bit, and then the picture improved. The picture was still bad. It did have dirty heads, so the dirty heads was some of the reason why the picture was bad, but then we lost our video. We just completely lost our video. So what happened is, I think that the capacitor, I do see some wetness underneath here. So I think what might have happened is that these caps, you know, this machine had sat for a very long time, and once power was put to the unit, the capacitor started to build up a charge, and it was working, and then it blew its seal. So the seals, when the seals break, the electrolytic leaks out, and I can see a little bit of wetness. So when I take these caps out, I'm going to have to use some alcohol to clean the circuit board before I mount my new cap. This is going to take quite a few of the caps. We've got about 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We've got about 11, 12 caps here that will need changed. So I'm going to change them, and we'll put this back in, and we'll see if we got a video signal. Also, what I want to do is maybe go into the power supply, and I want to check the voltage regulator IC. If this doesn't solve the problem, then I want to go check the voltages on the power supply regulator, and then I want to do some checking on the check for other things. But first things first, let's get these changed, and let's start getting this thing to where it'll work again. Hopefully this will restore its video, because mechanically this machine seems to work very well. As you can see now, this is the you have to unplug the video head from the head amp. And there's about 6 wires here. Let's see, you got four wires. So if you're wondering how to take this out, is this slides down in here, and it's got 2 screws, one on each side, pulls up, and you unplug it, and you take your shields, because it's got a shield on it, and to keep it from having any kind of electrical interference. That's why they have shields on here. Okay, so I'm just gonna replace some of these. Alright, this one is C24. Probably have to finish this tomorrow as well, because it's getting hard to see. There it is. I'm gonna have to do some bridging, I think, because they have been leaking. Whew. Wow. Yeah, they've definitely been leaking, and they smell of fish. So we're gonna pull this one out. We'll just pull these out. Okay, let's pull that one. Yeah, that one's been leaking. I'm just going to show you. Okay, so this is 16 at 22. Got an assortment of capacitors. The assortment of 500 pieces of capacitors. They come in handy when you're doing projects like this one, where you're just doing small capacitors, common caps like 22 microfarad 16 volt capacitors, or say 47 microfarad at a 10 volt, those kind of capacitors. They're very common, and there's always good to have those. So that's what I would recommend if you're wanting to do simple, small projects like this. I'm only going to show replacing a few because that one came right out. And of course, this is a okay, this is a 25 at 4.7. So I'm gonna have to use a 25 at 10, and it'll raise the microfarad a little bit, but it will do just fine for that. And then I'll order if I need any more of the 25 volts, I'll have to order them. So I'm going to do a 10, and that will, like I said, it'll be a little high on the microfarad, but it's not going up too high, so also I need to mark the capacitors that are going to be replaced. I'm going to recommend that you put a marker on the top, put a dot on the top of the bad ones. It's kind of getting hard to see, so I might have to wait until morning to finish these. Yeah, you can smell fish, the residue from the leaky caps. Some of the traces have been damaged on this cap. So I've got a bridge right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll gonna bridge that, I think. It had half a trace left. That was half of a trace left. So I gotta check it to see if the check continuity on there. So I'm going to mark all the other capacitors. So we'll take that one out as well. There's a nasty fish smell. Oops. Wow. It's a good thing we're changing them because they're definitely bad. So I believe this one is a 16. This is a 16 at 47. Just trying to look and see where I just pulled that out of. Alright, got that lead pulled out and okay, so I think the top is okay on that one. So, I will finish changing these. I'm not going to be, showing every one of them changed, but I'm going to show a few of them. And the reasoning for doing that is to show you that yes, I am actually replacing them. And anybody could say that they replaced them on video, but I'm showing you so that you know that there's no trickery here, that I have changed them. Okay, so it's now the next day, multiple capacitors later. We've got them all changed. There were a lot of leaking capacitors. They damaged quite a few traces. I've had to do some bridging. You can see one of my bridging right there. I had two capacitor leads that go to the third pin on the right side of that IC chip. So I know it doesn't look that great, but I've got a lead sticking straight up connected to that pin it needs to connect to, and then we've got the a ball of solder to connect the lead from the capacitor over to there. I know it looks kind of crude, but it's what I had to do to get this thing so that it would work properly. I also had to check for continuity because there were many traces that they were not much traces left, and due to not knowing where those traces go, I had to kind of solder the caps in to what was left. Yeah, sorry guys, got an incoming phone call. So what I'm going to do is we'll put this thing in and fire up the machine and see if we have a picture. I'm a little bit worried about some of the solder connections. Now, you know, with the traces being damaged and all, I'm just going to have to put it in and see what it does. So let's just see if we can get this thing to start working again. Okay, so it's back in. We got it powered on. It's hooked up. Let's see if we get a picture. Now, I'm not quite sure, because some of the... Yeah, I don't know if this is going to fix it. If this doesn't repair it, then there's going to be a problem somewhere else. But let's hit play. Well, we do have a picture. We have a picture. We have a very, very bad picture. But we do have a picture. Now, I think one of the reasons why the picture is so bad is because I didn't put the front plate back on, and so because this actually shields it from electrical interference, and I think what you're seeing is electrical interference. So I'm going to put the shield back on, and then we'll try it again and see if that cleans our picture up, because that could be very well caused by interference, and that's exactly what it looks like, is electrical interference. So let's just do that and we'll see. So I gotta pull it back out and then put this on and then see if we can get that picture to become normal, because we're even having trouble with color a little bit, but that's interference, I do believe. So let's just see if we can get this thing to work properly. But at least we do have a picture. Like I said, not a very good picture, but we got a picture. Okay, so let's do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, we got the shielding plate back on, as you can see. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we still have a very bad picture. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the amp back out, and I'm gonna make sure that I've got all the connections right, and see if I can I want to check some things on the head amp and make sure that the work that I've done is going to work 100%. If I know that the work, now I think that the work I've done on this head amp is good. You know, yes, I had to do some bridging because of the leaky caps, but I'm going to go into the power supply, I think, is what I want to do. Is if I can't get this, I'd like to get this thing going, but we have a picture now, but I think there might be something going on in the power supply. But like I said, I'm going to go double check my work that I've done on the head amplifier, because I might have done something wrong. I might have connected it, the pin, to the wrong pin on the IC chip. So I'm not sure, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna go in and see what I can do here, and if I know that the head amp is fine, then the next thing I'm going to do is go into the power supply. I want to check the power supply and see if maybe, oh, you know what, I could still check the video board as well. I could check some components on the video board, making sure everything is good. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and I'm going to get this, I will get this thing up and running. It may take me a couple hours, but we are heading in the right direction, because we had no video and now we have video. So I'm in the right ballpark, so to speak. So I think I found the problem here. I've got to do a repair on that pin right here, this pin on this cap, the one that I had continuity, but I tested again and I had no continuity. So what happened is it broke. So this connects all the way down and goes to this resistor connector right there. So what I'm going to do is repair that, and then that should get our problem fixed. Another issue that I found was I had the one pin soldered over here on this third pin on the other side, and I'm supposed to put it over here, so I repositioned that as well and found the bad joint right here. So when we fix that, that will actually repair that, because that's actually going over to this area over here. So once I repair that, that should get this thing up and going again. So I resoldered the pin. Like I said, it was over here. It's supposed to be over there. I can't really show you because it was kind of hard to show you, but that's where it was. And also, I think this pin over here was bad as well. So there's quite a few pins that were bad. If you noticed, it was over here, and now I repositioned it over there. It was actually in this middle area here, and I'm supposed to put it over there. So with the broken leads on the capacitor, and actually that one is shaking, moving around, so I'm gonna fix that, put it together, and then we're gonna see if we got a picture, because I'm pretty sure that this is all that's wrong, and this should get our issues back up and going. Should be able to get this amp to work properly. It's all put back in. I've got the power on. We've got it hooked up to the front of the 1000, which is going from the 1000 into the television set. And it's set on line 2 because we're using the front jacks. So let's see. Let's get a tape here. Figures everything drop on the floor. Alright, let's just cover out of the way here. Let's get the cassette, let's put it in. It should work, but I don't know. But yeah, there was a lot of traces. I put solder on the lead, and I had continuity, but when I was moving, the must have happened when I moved the head amp, and the connection was so thin that it just, the remainder of the trace had snapped off. So I don't know, let's find out here. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Yeah. Yep, we've got a picture. And we've got a very good picture. Wow. Alright, we got a little bit of pairing bone going on. But I think we can remedy that. You know what I think also I might do is go into the power supply and put some new capacitors in there as well. With the head amp now recapped, and it was repaired, I had to put, as you've seen, I had to put some bridging to fix it. Quality is good, except for just a hair bit of, it's not showing up on the camera, but there's a little bit of clear lines that's kind of going down through the picture. That might be power supply related, I don't know, but we're gonna find out. But we can take that power supply and recap it. These have got Rubicon caps, but I do see some Sanyo caps in there as well. I've got a bunch of capacitors, and I think what I'll do is we'll just recap the power supply. Now, here's something else I noticed too. If you look, well, probably can't see it, but there's a little bit of white. You see that white down in there? There's white right down in there. This regulator has been changed at some point in time. This regulator has failed in this thing at one time because, well, no, maybe not. No, wait, white is what Sony used. Sony used the white thermal grease. Well, it does look like maybe this regulator has been replaced at some point in time. The regulator IC is a very common problem in the power supply. So I think I want to take the power supply apart and put some new electrolytics in there. And I think that'll be it. And then we'll clean the heads. We still haven't cleaned the heads. I still haven't done that yet either. So I'm going to let this thing be unplugged for about 30 minutes before I work on it. Because I don't want to be working on it because it'll hold a charge for a good half an hour to an hour. So it's always good to wait a little while before working on a power supply. So I'm going to unplug this and I'm going to let it sit for about an hour. And then we'll put some new capacitors in the power supply, and that will get this thing to where it will perform like it did when it was new. Because it does look almost new. I was able to use Novus, and I really was able to shine this up. Now I'm going to work on it a little bit more. I do want to put a little bit more Novus on here, and I want to get it a little bit more shinier. I'm just gonna get it looking as best as I can get it, so that I'll take the photographs and list it up for sale on eBay. Now eBay is being a pain in the ass right now because I'm not selling enough stuff, so eBay is threatened to suspend my account. So now I've got to contact eBay and say, look, I don't sell a lot on eBay because I don't always have stuff to sell. So now I gotta fight with them to keep them from suspending my accounts. So anyway, but I'm gonna get this power supply out. We'll recap it, put it back in, clean the heads, do the cleaning of the tape path, put the thing back together, and this thing will be ready to be for sale. So if anybody wants this machine, it's going to be up on eBay. And but I'm going to go ahead now and get the power supply out and recap it, put it back in, clean the heads, clean the tape path, everything, get this thing up and going. But I think what we'll do is we'll do that in another video. So this is going to be the end of part 1, and part 2 will be going into the power supply and replacing all the capacitors to make sure that this machine will work for a long time. So anyway, we'll see you in the next video. See you later. Bye-bye.